Just been promoted and you get your own pistol. Just go and shoot anybody who looks different to us.
Okay.
Don't forget your stick, Lieutenant.
Right there, sir. Wouldn't want to face a machine gun without this.
Hey everyone, I'm Johnny, and today I have a list of 5 must-watch military satires and comedies. Not a comprehensive list, as obviously this is a large genre, and comedy is of course subjective, but I've comprised a list that is highly acclaimed, mostly, and should have something for every taste on it.
And I'd be more than happy to fight in the front.
Get in line, kids.
Okay, here's the conscriptions, and here is a gun.
Oh!
It's a bit for the gun.
No.
We'll start with the newest production and work our way down from there. So firstly, we have JoJo Rabbit from 2019. This is a movie that is funny, well acted, and provides a very unique perspective of blind nationalism under the Nazi regime, which is the perspective from a young boy with Adolf Hitler as his imaginary friend. JoJo Rabbit was directed by Taika Waititi, who also plays Adolf Hitler in the movie. Few New Zealanders with Maori ancestry could get away with playing this role, but being an imaginary version of Hitler, through a young boy's eyes, makes for an extremely flexible character.
Whatever they want. People used to say a lot of nasty things about me. Oh, this guy's a lunatic. Oh, look at that psycho. He's gonna get us all killed.
The entire cast is excellent, with some new and recognizable faces. There are tragic themes in this film, certainly the teaching of hatred towards Jews amongst children, but also the waste of life in the final days of the war for Germany's youth and civilians. One's only complaint may be at times, the scenes are so stolen by cute and well-delivered lines that you often forget it's an anti-war film with some serious and historic content.
You're a soldier now? At your service. But you're only 11. I know.
My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain, and I'm putting together a special team, and I need me 8 soldiers. 8 Jewish American soldiers.
Alright, Inglourious Basterds from 2009. This can be a tough film for history buffs, as it does essentially rewrite history and the last year of World War II, and turns the war basically into a backdrop for a Tarantino film, which is really its own entity. It's hard to compare this film to any other war film, so it's best not to.
Please, go and make yourself at home.
The film is set in German-occupied France, with a team of Jewish Americans and misfits out to break all the rules of war, to bring hell to occupying forces before the Normandy landings. There is an original 1978 Inglourious Basterds, but this film doesn't share much in common with it. This version takes many classic character tropes and amplifies them to such a level that they all become familiar yet refreshing characters.
Grazie. Corlomi? Lo pronuncio correttamente?
Si, corretto.
Arguably, this is one of Brad Pitt's best roles, but even his character struggles to rise above the never-ending, scene-stealing cast. Ultimately, it would be Christopher Waltz as Hans Landa, the shrewd and devoted SS colonel, whose performance, which includes perfectly using several of his native languages, elevates this film to one of Tarantino's best.
Ancora? Margarete.
Un'altra volta, ma adesso vorrei proprio sentire la musica delle parole.
Margarete.
Right. What's a war hero got to do? Get some lubrication round here.
The Death of Stalin, 2017. Here's a completely wild and unique film covering the death and fallout over one of the most evil men in history. Sometimes there are men in stories in history that are so evil and bizarre, it's almost easier to tell them from a satirical perspective. And this film lined up everyone skillful in this type of narrative and pulled it off. I laugh every time I see a clip from this film.
Today we pause. We pause in grief and sorrow. But is not a pause in itself part of the revolution?
The Death of Stalin is obviously not so much a war film, probably more a dark political satire, but it does follow the scramble to take power and maintain order after Stalin's death, most notably by Lavrentiy Beria, Minister of Internal Affairs, who was directly responsible for using his secret police to murder and torture thousands.
He sees it. Or in this one, kill him, take him to his church, dump him in the pulpit.
The film isn't strict to history, but does highlight the bizarre and paranoid climate created by Stalin in 1950s Soviet Russia, highlighting bizarre events like the cover-up of the Soviet hockey team plane crash by Stalin's son, right down to the difficulty of finding a doctor to treat Stalin.
Relax, I'm not going to kiss you. Will you recover, yes or no?
Watch this film for the mixed and talented cast, all given some range to portray their characters in their own unique style, even using their native accents, which to me is preferable to pretending this is a native film produced in Russia. You won't suspend disbelief during this production, but you will laugh and be disturbed.
George's eyes really do follow you around the crapper. It's weird.
Why did they hang a picture of my grandmother in here?
What about you, son?
Infantry, sir.
Good for you. Mobile infantry made me the man I am today.
Starship Troopers, 1997. This is going to be the only science fiction movie on the list, but it's just so iconic and misunderstood that more people need to rewatch this who may have seen it in their youth. In my youth, of course, I loved it as a cheesy action pick, but as an adult, the satire takes it to a whole nother level.
He's just a little out of his mind, sir.
Starship Troopers on the surface is a science fiction action war movie targeting kids. The action scenes, the training, yeah, and even the bugs are well put together fun. They hold up half okay today for a 90s film. But what's really great is rewatching this film, understanding the themes of a dystopian militaristic future, where violence is the ultimate authority, and citizenship is earned through military service.
Fully automatic burrito. Who wants to hold it?
Citizen rule. People making a better tomorrow.
It's a well put together authoritarian state narrative, and the director puts you right in it, watching the story press on through informational videos that pop up periodically throughout the film that we watch alongside the Starship Troopers themselves.
Would you like to know more?
Starship Troopers will either be for you or it won't. As an adult, the satire will be glaring, especially if you've watched a number of war movies. The action, particularly the basic training scenes, are designed to be complete one-dimensional fan service for science fiction and war movie buffs.
Now, who here thinks they got what it takes to knock me down? Sir! I guess maybe I do, sir!
Yes. Clearly, Field Marshal Haig is about to make yet another gargantuan effort to move his drinks cabinet 6 inches closer to Berlin.
My personal favorite, Blackadder Goes Forth, 1989. I had to include this, as to me, it's one of the best military satire productions there is. I'll admit that it won't be for everyone. You have to like British humor, but if you do, it's a must-see, even if you don't like war movies.
Tally-ho, pip-pip, Bernard's your uncle.
In English, we say good morning.
Blackadder Goes Forth is actually the fourth and final series of Blackadder, which follows several characters who change historical settings through each season, with this season being the last, taking place during World War I. The production stars Rowan Atkinson. Many Americans will recognize him as Mr. Bean. You'll also find Hugh Laurie, Tony Robinson, and Stephen Fry in the cast, whose comedy meshes so well together you'd think they were family.
I can't answer him, sir. I don't know what he's talking about.
Are you looking forward to the big push?
No, sir. I'm absolutely terrified.
You really won't find any action in this series, but you'll get a good taste for attitudes and experiences of trench life during World War I, albeit always with satire and never-ending dry humor from Rowan Atkinson and his amazing supporting cast.
Don't worry, my boy. If you should falter, remember that Captain Darling and I are behind you.
About 35 miles behind.
Alright, I'm Johnny. Thanks for watching. Hope I was able to recommend something new to you today, and we'll see you in the next video.